Good evening, Tallahassee. I'm student meteorologist Rebecca Darish with Friday night's edition of FSU weather. Currently, the clouds are breaking over Doak Campbell Stadium, giving us a nice sunset to round out that nice and warm day. A little cloudy, but not too bad. 67 degrees currently, and that's going to drop overnight. With our current local temperatures, things are ranging from the mid to high 60s, currently 66. Tallahassee, some warmer temperatures you'll see, 68 in Monticello, 69 in Madison, and those are going to continue to drop as we get throughout the night. For our muggy meter, thankfully we haven't quite reached those humidity levels of the spring or summer yet. We are still smiling in Tallahassee. However, it is significantly muggier as you get down the peninsula. Tonight in Tallahassee, it's going to be 42 degrees, a little bit cooler than what we've seen the past few days, but don't worry, it's going to continue to warm up next week, partly cloudy. For tonight's headlines, we're looking at highs in the 80s next week, an Arctic blast, and what to expect for the spring. All that and more on tonight's edition of FSU Weather.
Good evening. Welcome to this Friday edition of FSU Weather. Thank you, Rebecca, for that beautiful intro. So we have a lot to talk about on tonight's show. We're going to start off with those hot temperatures coming in for next week. Say Tuesday or Wednesday next week, we could be in the low to mid 80s, so feeling a little bit like summer around Tallahassee. So what do you think about that, Jason?
I'm excited for it. It's been very cold like the past month, but it's warming up, so we can actually do outside stuff rather than staying inside and being very cold.
That's right. I'm looking forward to those warmer temperatures. And we do have a little bit of an Arctic chill, not as terrible as we've seen in the past, but still significant. And we also have a spring outlook for you guys. So March, will it come in like a lion? We'll have to see. So I prefer for it to come in like a lamb, but you never know these days.
Yeah, my sister's probably going to be affected by that Arctic chill, but luckily for us, we're not going to be too affected by it. And yeah,
that's right. And I think temperatures will go into the middle 60s for this weekend, but like I said, by the time we get to early next week, we'll be in the middle to mid 80s for next week. So again, feeling much like summer. So now we'll throw things over to the wall again with Ariana for her first local segment.
Hello everyone. Let's take a look at our temperature almanac. Today we had a high of 73 and a low of 67. So our high stayed pretty close to average, but our low was definitely not close to average due to the muggy air that was coming into our area ahead of the cold front that is going to move through. A live look at Doak Campbell right now. We can kind of see glimpses of the sunset with it setting just beyond the cloudy skies. Right now it is partly cloudy with temperatures at 67 and winds coming out of the northwest at 8 miles an hour. Our current radar looks pretty dry at the moment. We do have some showers off towards Gainesville, but overall it's just a cloudy sky for Tallahassee. Our current local temperatures towards the peninsula of Florida are going to be a lot warmer because the cold front has not passed through, but generally our temperatures are in the upper 60s, and then to the west of us, temperatures are going to be lower because of the cold front moving through. Our wind speed right now, we have winds coming out of the northwest at 10 miles an hour in Tallahassee. Our dew points, as you can see, the sharp contrast between the eastern half of the state and the western half because the cold front has moved through or is moving through our area at the moment. Our future radar, the clouds are going to clear out of our area as we head into the weekend, which is going to make it for a beautiful Saturday. Tonight's forecast, we're going to have lows in the mid 40s, which is going to be a really nice change to the warmer temperatures that we did have today. Tonight in Tallahassee, it's going to be 42 and partly cloudy with winds out of the north-northwest at 7 miles an hour. If we're headed to the beach this weekend, our air temperature is 60 and water temperature will be 60, which is quite cold for us Floridians. And our week ahead, as you can see, temperatures are going to dip down into the 60s and 70s, but they are going to rebound close to 80 as we head into the week. And a happy President's Day on Monday, and we're going to get showers back into our area come Friday. So I'm going to hand it off to Aaron for the National.
Thanks, Ariana. And Yeah, you saw that 7-day forecast. It looked definitely very pleasant, especially as you got towards the first part of next week with 80s returning. But right now, we have that cold front moving through our area. Just actually brought us a few showers and thunderstorms this morning across Tallahassee. This was also the same system that did bring some severe weather yesterday across places like Mississippi and Alabama, but that severe weather threat has long diminished now. But along the central part of the nation, we see that next cold front that's going to be diving down to the south. We won't see too much of effect from this one, but it is bringing a few showers up to the plains and some snow up to the upper Midwest. And over along the west coast, it is pretty dry with not really much in the way of precipitation going on over there. Our satellite radar, again, does show those dual cold fronts, again, right over the east coast, again, over our area and up towards New England, and over the central part of the U.S. in Minneapolis, again, bringing those showers and some snow showers as well. And over Montana, we see those snow showers coming in from Canada, and we see the cloud cover, and most of the showers, of course, is to the south, and this is all behind the cold front, so you can see where that cooler weather is. And then over towards places like New York and Philadelphia, looks like we might see a little bit of a possibly lake effect snow, maybe, over places like Toronto, Buffalo, up towards upstate New York and the Finger Lakes, and then, of course, up towards the Canadian Maritimes near Halifax as well. Down towards the Gulf Coast, we see plenty of clouds, of course, associated with that cold front moving through right now. That's where the leading edge of the cold front right there moving through places like Gainesville and Ocala currently, and then over towards the east coast of Florida. So places like New Smyrna Beach as well may get some shower activity as well here in the next few hours. Big picture does show that cold front up to the north, again bringing that cooler weather, so 18 degrees in Minneapolis. Over towards D.C. we are at 39 degrees, and over towards our neck of the woods we are sitting in the 50s and 60s behind the front, but down towards Miami are sitting near 80 degrees. So if you want the warmer temperatures, go down to Miami. And along the west coast we're seeing those mild temperatures again with temperatures in the 60s across that region. Our lows compared to average show the cooler weather mostly around Chicago and Detroit. Looks like about 5 to 10 degrees below average around those places around the midwestern part of the Midwest, of course. And then, of course, we have the warming trend a little bit out from the upper plains, of course, near Montana, Nebraska, and North Dakota. Our dew points are pretty dry across much of the nation, except for Florida right there with that green thumb sticking out there near Miami in the 70s. So definitely feels very muggy if you take a trip down there. Our water vapor shows where those cold fronts are at. Here's the drier weather that will eventually move into our area tomorrow and bring us that sunshine and, of course, less humid conditions that we've been experiencing for the past week or so with that southerly flow. But now we will have a northwesterly flow behind the front, and that will affect some cooler temperatures and, of course, that drier air behind it. Our drought monitor actually paints a little bit of a drought, like just abnormally dry across the area, and that has to do, of course, with us being in winter in a La Nina pattern as well, kind of helping with not allowing too many storms, of course, being produced over our area. And then, of course, along the west coast, the drought continues over places like Texas, Oklahoma, back towards California. Our year rainfall forecast does show that rain up in the northern portions of the nation, or places like Chicago, up towards New York. And then we might see some shower activity, according to the Euro model, perhaps just north of our area near the Mississippi area and over towards Tennessee. Our watches and warnings, we do have some winter weather advisory up for the upper Midwest across Minneapolis down to Chicago. And we actually do have a winter storm watch over places like Billings over in Montana, of course, with bringing those snow showers in the area. Tomorrow's highs, we'll see those temperatures dip along the east coast. And along the west coast, it become much pleasant with temperatures in the 60s and 70s. But honestly, I'm ready for those 80-degree temperatures. How about you, Luke?
Personally, I'm not too much looking forward to them. I'm more of a fan of the cold weather, but here is a beautiful look at some of these locations here in the southeast. We have quite a lot of cloud cover here in Blacksburg, Virginia, as well as Gainesville. It's a little bit warmer in Gainesville, but we got some beautiful sunsets going on here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, as well as here in Atlanta, Georgia. Now looking at our satellite and radar, it's mostly clear for the north, for the southeast. We have just a little bit of cloud cover kind of going over northern Georgia, Tennessee, and Kentucky. But as you can see, as stated earlier, we have some showers going through Orlando, Gainesville, up into Jacksonville. And then for the most part, the rest of the southeast is staying relatively dry. Now again, looking here towards the Texas area, again, mostly clear. There's going to be some spot-up showers here in the southwest towards Corpus Christi and maybe a little bit in Houston. But again, just pretty clear, pretty dry conditions here. And again, looking more up north here, we have just We actually see a little bit of snowfall here up in West Virginia and Pennsylvania, but again, just some cloud cover here in Kentucky, Tennessee, and a little bit here on the west side of North Carolina. But overall, it's going to be relatively clear here in the southeast region. Again, here looking at the Euro rainfall forecast over the next week, we see most of the Florida Peninsula is actually going to get some rain, and then as we saw, that storm system is going to bring quite a few inches of rain. Here in northern Mississippi, we're going to see almost 5 inches of rain again, and Little Rock as well, and up into Memphis, we're going to see about 1 inch to 2 inches of rain. And then looking at the storm outlook, we don't really see much, just a non-severe rain as we've seen over in the Ocala, Gainesville, kind of that corner of Florida. And our current temperatures here, it's a beautiful 65 here in Tallahassee. A little bit colder here as we go up into Tupelo, 57, 58 in Atlanta. But if you're looking for those really warm 80 degrees, you want to go down to Miami and South Beach. And again, looking at our dew points, as you can see, we got a little bit of a green thumb here for Florida as it's a little bit drier. Actually, we have a dew point of 9 all the way up in Little Rock. That's going to be really dry and comfortable air. Again, 29 over here in Atlanta, and then 51 here in Tallahassee. And again, looking at that water vapor, you can see that kind of wave of dry air here coming through the southeast. We can see it going through Dallas, Little Rock, Memphis, Tennessee, and all the way up over into North Carolina. And then the future radar here, again, we see those storms passing through that central portion of Florida. We saw a little bit of snowfall here up towards West Virginia and Washington, D.C. But overall, again, it's just going to be some cloud cover here in Texas, a lot of cloud cover with a few spot of showers maybe, as well as that cloud cover moving into New Orleans. And looking at tonight's lows, again, it's going to be a 42 here in Tallahassee, but if you're up here in the Mississippi, Alabama, or Arkansas states, it's going to be 31 here in Little Rock, 27 Tupelo. It's just going to be a little bit, almost a little bit under freezing here. And again, for tomorrow, we're going to get up into the 60s and mid-60s and high 50s up for most of the region southeast. But again, we're going to look into the 80s here in Miami. I'm going to pass it off here to Evan.
That's right. Thanks, Luke. So now I'm going to take you guys on a more zoomed-in look at the state of Florida. Right now, we're looking at Panama City Beach. It's kind of cloudy out right now. Didn't really get a great visual sunset that we usually do. But still nice day out there. That cold front has moved through, so it's a little bit cooler and drier behind the front. And you actually see the remnants of that front working its way through places like Jacksonville right now, and that's actually coinciding with exactly what Luke just showed you, where that general threat for thunderstorms is for today. But those showers will be exiting the coast within the next few hours or so. But if you're planning on going on 95, where those showers are still percolating a little bit, you might want to be prepared to just turn on your windshield wipers a little bit. Won't be too heavy, but still kind of a nuisance if you're planning on traveling on 95, going south towards Daytona or north towards Jacksonville. Moving down to the southern portion of the state, generally clear on the radar right now. Maybe a few spotty showers just to the west of Miami, but nothing of note or noteworthy, I should say, around the Miami area. Current temperatures are still pretty warm. Here's that cold front working way through places like Gainesville and Jacksonville right now, but south of there, still sitting in the middle 80s in places like Orlando, Fort Myers, and West Palm Beach as we speak right now. But that cold front will start to move its way down towards the south as we go through in time here. As for our muggy, we do have that smiley face up there in Tallahassee, but there are some humid, even very humid places like Fort Myers with a little bit of a frowny face there. But as that cold front does work its way towards the south, conditions will improve there and it will become more comfortable out there. And you can see that on the future radar. We'll start to sag towards the south and bring a few showers along with it, but conditions will clear out, maybe a little bit more of an onshore flow with a little high pressure setting up here. So that onshore flow will maybe induce a few showers just along the immediate eastern coast of Florida for places like Daytona, Melbourne, places like that. So if you are planning on going out this weekend for Sunday, this time Sunday, might want to bring just an umbrella just to make sure you stay dry. As for tonight in Florida, 39 in Tallahassee, so maybe a good night for baking up pecan pie, nice and warm, a tasty treat. But sitting in the middle and upper 50s, even the 60s down there in South Florida. City by city here, we have Miami sitting at 84 for tomorrow, a slight chance of showers, and that cold front does drop your temperatures slightly by the time we get to Sunday and Monday, sitting in the upper 70s. Similar story in Tampa, although that cold front gets there sooner, only a high of 69 tomorrow, and we do bounce back up into the lower and middle 80s by the time we get to early next week. Plenty of sunshine there. Similar story in Orlando, sitting in the Low 70s tomorrow, working their way up towards 80 on Monday. And a similar story in Jacksonville, just a little bit cooler, sitting in the upper 60s and mid 70s by Monday. Now I'm going to pass things over to Ariana and Aaron at the desk.
Thanks, Evan. And across much of the nation, besides us, of course, we'll see the roller coaster of temperatures. We'll actually see an Arctic blast coming into places in the Central Plains, and of course, the increasing temperatures in our neck of the woods. But how about more about that, Ariana?
Tallahassee, it is going to be in the 80s this week, Tuesday through Thursday, which is kind of surprising. Those are some summertime temperatures getting into springtime weather.
That's right, and of course, we do have 2 potential storms next week. On Monday, it looks like we'll see more storms, of course, to the north in places over there. Like might bring some rain and some snow to portions of the northern plains. And of course, it'll continue on to the southern plains as we get into the middle part of the week, as again, they'll see the chance for some rain and for snow, even down as far south as Texas, if you believe it or not.
That's crazy. The plains and the East Coast are going to be seeing those colder temperatures, sub-freezing, and they're going to be below average daytime highs, while the Southeast is going to stay above average.
Kind of makes you appreciate being here in Florida, right, with all the warmer temperatures. So,
it does.
But really, the spring outlook shows much of the nation is actually going to be, or at least the eastern part of the nation will actually be above average. Of course, it's much of a change than what we've seen much of the wintertime with seeing those weekend cold fronts that really brought a lot of cold temperatures across in Tallahassee. And of course, models are showing more consensus for such conditions, of course, as we'll also see those drier temperature or drier conditions as well. So maybe not see as much in the way of precipitation. So it actually will feel a little bit drier, and honestly, I'm looking forward to that.
Same. I am so excited to finally get the humidity out of the air. It definitely helps my hair stay a lot straighter.
Right, and again, you can shed those, at least for right now, those jackets away. But it doesn't mean we won't see any potentially cold fronts, but it won't be as cold, especially as we get further away from February. But now we'll turn things back over to the wall with Becca to talk more about our conditions.
Yep, thank you, Aaron. I'm over here. We're going to talk about winter weather. I know, everyone's favorite topic, mine too. There's a lot going on. So we have snow and ice going up to the northeast, and we have 2 systems that are going to be moving through and an Arctic blast expected. So looking at that satellite and radar, we're going to start over in the northwest, and you'll see that snow coming down from the continental cold polar air. It's pushing through, and Montana is just getting slammed. So are the surrounding states with lots of snow. There's currently winter storm warnings and watches across the state, covering almost the entire state of Montana, but you'll see those extend over in Seattle, Portland, and into many other states as well. For our Euro snowfall forecast, it really reinforces what I was just saying. They are getting hammered right now. So for Idaho and Montana, you'll notice 37 to 48 inches. That's way too much for me to personally think it's safe enough to live there. Moving over to the northeast, those are those dueling cold fronts that we had mentioned earlier. So one is already pushing its way across the coast. We have a second one that's going to be moving across Lake Michigan into the Michigan coast, bringing lots of lake effect snow, which can potentially do the exact same thing off of Lake Erie and bring more lake effect snow to some of those states. So you'll notice that along with that snow and that radar, we have the watches and warnings to reinforce that. So if you happen to be out there, I have family in Grand Rapids, right on the coast of Michigan. Just be aware of what's coming towards you. I know that they are very well prepared and are willing to withstand it, but it is definitely intense. Looking at those totals, that is absolutely insane. I'm so thankful I'm in Florida right now and not with the rest of my family. I am seeing lots of snow, especially up in the northern peninsula of Michigan. 37 to 38 inches of snow. For our future radar, you're going to see those dueling cold fronts push all the way across the state. Thankfully, they will be moving out, and we can hope for warmer conditions for the rest of the year. Jason's going to take it over, and he is going to help us with sports.
Yeah, so baseball is actually happening right now. It's, I don't know the score right now, but right now it's 66 degrees, and tonight it's going to be a 61-degree night, so perfect for baseball. Hopefully we're winning this game. But softball, we've been right now, it's going to be 62, 62, and 62 all day in Clearwater. But men's tennis, we have 55 and 56, and 56 also on Saturday. But men's diving and swimming, it's going to be in Atlanta, Georgia, so that's going to be a little colder than Tallahassee. It's going to be 55. at 3 p.m. So nice weather up there. Lucky, but I mean, they're inside, so they're not going to be feeling it as much. But men's basketball, big game against Duke. Hopefully we have those injuries come back, but probably not, and we're probably going to lose this game, but I really want to win. It's going to be 50 degrees at Duke at 6 p.m., so hopefully we win. But we can look forward to women's golf on Sunday. It's going to be 54 and 73 in Melbourne, so it's going to be that you see that huge warm-up from 7 a.m. to noon. But then we're looking at men's golf on also Sunday. It's going to be Watersound, Florida. It's going to be 47 degrees in the morning at 7 a.m., but at noon it's going to be 59 and 60 at 5 p.m. But for women's women's basketball, it's going to be 63 degrees at noon at North Carolina. So it's going to be a great game. Hopefully we win that game and it doesn't disappoint like men's basketball, but I know they're going to do great. But now I'm going to take it next to Luke for the next segment.
Thank you for that great look at our FSU sports this weekend and going into next week. So here we are with another look at our local forecast. It was a very, very moist day, so we do not see quite a big of a temperature range, only about 6 or 7 degrees. It's much smaller than our regular average. And then looking at this live look at Doak. So we have a current temperature of 67 degrees, but we have a beautiful sunset that's trying to peek through all these clouds. You can see some pinks, some blues, and we have just a very slight breeze of northwest at 8 miles an hour. Again, relatively clear day. All we're seeing is some cloud cover. We may see some pop-up showers here on the coast, and then we see some showers down towards the Gainesville, Cross City, and going into Jacksonville, as we saw in the previous forecasts. And looking at our current local temperatures, it's currently a beautiful 66 degrees here in Tallahassee, 62 here in Thomasville, a little bit colder. And as we get to the coast, it's going to be just about the same, 66 in Apalachicola. But as we get up north, it's going to be 58 up in Donaldsonville. Now looking at that muggy mirror, as we've discussed, it's not quite to the human levels that make it quite uncomfortable. We still got that nice smiling face. But again, as we go down the Florida coast here, is going to get just more and more muggy, and that makes it just more and more uncomfortable. Now looking at tonight's forecast, we're going to see temperatures here in the mid to upper 40s. As you see towards the coast, we got 49 here in St. Marks and 49 in Carabel. But as you get more inland, we're looking at 45 here in Tallahassee and then 44 up in Thomasville. Now, if you're looking to go to the beach here in Panama City, it's going to be a pretty nice day. 62 in the air and 60 in the water. There's actually going to be quite a bit of breeze, so that might make it a little bit choppy waters, but it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful day. Not many clouds in the sky. Pretty great day to go to the beach. Now, again, looking tonight in Tallahassee, it's going to be, we're dropping into the 40s today, so it's going to be a little bit drier of a day today. Our winds are going to come from north-northwest here at 7 miles an hour, so it's going to be a nice day if you're going to go out on a Friday night. And again, looking at our future radar here, just some cloud cover as we see, nothing too much, and then we see how that cold front came through. That cloud cover is going to kind of go away, and we're going to just see some beautiful, beautiful sunny skies in the Sunshine State. And again, looking at our week ahead, so we have a little bit cooler temperatures here in the weekend, but it's going to be greatly warmed up here, all the way up into 80 degrees here. And with another look at that weekend forecast, we have Ariana.
Our current local radar has not many showers in the area. We do have a few clouds that are still lingering from the cold front passing through today. Off to Gainesville, we are seeing more scattered showers down there. Tonight in College Town, it is going to be a beautiful night. It's going to be 44 with winds at 7 miles per hour out of the north-northwest. Our stargazing, it's going to be able to see good conditions for stars. However, we are going to see some clouds out there, so be prepared to not see all the stars necessarily. Airport delays. There are none. That's fabulous news for anybody traveling through the area right now. Travel delays along elsewhere in the country, pretty much clear. As like I said, its current conditions are great weather for traveling. For our Seminole Dance Force, temperatures are going to be 42 and mostly clear on Saturday from 7 to 9 at Tully Gym. If you are studying for midterms, it is going to be 52 throughout the weekend. Our horse walk forecast is going to be a great day to take the horses out to eat their carrots and to ride them at the stables. Our future radar, we have the clouds moving out of the area as the cold front is passing through. Clouds are still lingering along the peninsula, but as we get into Saturday, we should expect sunnier skies. Our weekend planner, we are going to see temperatures cool down, and going into Monday, they're going to rebound with temperatures getting close to 80 towards the middle of the week. We're going to pass it off to Aaron now.
Thanks, Ariana. Looks like a great weekend to make some pecan pie, of course, with those cooler temperatures over there. But, of course, recapping the weather across the nation, we see that cold front over our area bringing some lingering clouds and some showers. And then, of course, that does extend all the way up towards the Canadian Maritimes, places like Halifax over to St. John's and Newfoundland over there. We'll see some extra cloudiness and possibly a snow shower or two. And then across the central part of the country, we do have some showers and some snow showers as well, especially places north of the cold front. So like Minneapolis, might see a few snowflakes here or two. And then, of course, the watches and warnings. We see those, or actually the winter weather advisories across the southern Chicago area, over towards the eastern portions, or the western portion of the mitten of Michigan, and then, of course, the upper peninsula as well. And then we do have some of those winter storm watches as well over a lot further off to the west. Winter weather updates. Snow and ice melts, of course. It could bring some flash flooding as well to places in the northeast. Again, two systems are expected to bring more snow and, of course, rainfall in the next week across the nation. Our current local temperatures show 60s, so 64 in Tallahassee, up to 59 in Thomasville, and the cool spot's actually Donaldsville, up at 55 degrees. So right now it's actually a pretty pleasant time to be outside right now. And tonight's forecast, we'll go down into the 40s across much of the area. Our weekend planner, you see those conditions will really improve a lot, especially as we get to the later part of the week. Again, emphasizing that pecan pie. But, of course, we'll pass things over to the desk with Becca and Luke.
Thank you, Aaron. We would probably love to make some pecan pie. Unfortunately, I do have lots of homework to study this weekend. However, the temps are favorable. Study inside, outside.
Yeah, all this talk of pecan pie is getting me real hungry to make one tonight, or even tomorrow when it gets a little bit colder.
Absolutely. It'll be a great activity tonight. As we saw, those temps are going to be a little bit on the lower side, but don't worry, they're going to bounce back up later in the week. I am super excited for those 80s.
I'm excited for the 80s, but I'm going to miss having to wear a jacket a little bit. You can style a little bit more in the winter weather.
I can't relate. I don't like bringing extra clothes with me. I don't like having to carry it around throughout the day, so I am so excited to get back to shorts and a t-shirt weather.
You can follow us here on Twitter at twitter.com/FSU weather.
As well as like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU weather.
And if you're watching this, you're probably seeing this on YouTube. Again, you can see all previous streams as well as the one you're watching right now, youtube.com/FSU weather.
And of course, follow us on Instagram. Feel free to DM us your awesome weather pictures from Tallahassee. We love to see them.
Yes, especially if you want to get your dog or any animal featured on the dog walk forecast. Again, we'll love those.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Friday night's edition to FSU Weather. I am meteorologist Rebecca Darish.
And I'm Luke Nazwa. Y'all have a wonderful weekend.